my darling FUMINATION. How are you? How are we? My name is Fumi Desalu-Vold. For those of you that are stopping by for the very first time, you are so very welcome indeed. Yesterday, I was editing an episode for you on the Princess of Wales about her medical records being compromised by 3 nurses at the hospital at which she attended for her procedure. I tried to pace it out because I need my mental health, but this is not nice. This is not nice. 3 London clinic workers investigated for trying to access Kate Middleton's medical records are suspended after she and the King were both treated there, but Charles' notes have not been compromised. The Princess of Wales is believed to have been told about the potential data breach in December, might I add. They didn't put that there. We'll get to that in a minute. Although all 3 are believed to have been suspended. Not only should they be fired, they should no longer ever get access, permission. They should be blacklisted, as a matter of fact, and never ever work in the medical field again. How about that? Her private affair is her private affair. Whatever she went into the hospital for is none of our business. It's none of our business. Dare I say, she doesn't even have to tell us that she was going into the hospital. I think that was even generous enough as it was. She now goes in, and you have these 3 people who go and now breach her trust, her vulnerability, her nervousness. You can imagine she's leaving her 3 children at home, her daily life, to go in for a procedure. And I think for her, as anybody else, my greatest concern is that I get out, that I come out and I'm able to live my normal life, because I don't want to die, because I have people that I want to see and I love and love me in return. She got out and her records are breached. How breached, we don't know. So now Kate is over there. She can't sleep at night because she doesn't know the kind of information that is out there. With the Spanish press, I will not sleep at night either, because you know that if they get it, it's going to be something else. And then the hocus pocus of all of these cloak and daggers of Kate has been going on, one getting worse after the other, to the point that it's become a global sensation and it's the #1 story. Leave Kate alone. I co-signed that, and it came from people that she's trusted or people that she knows. 2 camps: the Royal Aids, Buckingham Palace, and the London Clinic. Everything else was cause and effect. Do not forget, my darlings, to like, to subscribe, to hit the notification button, my darlings, and I will see you sooner than later. All of my love. In the middle of that was when I saw my phone flying off, and I couldn't even read anything because the next message would lay over, so I couldn't read what was going on. I film during the day. I live in England, smiling and waving to you from London. And in the evenings, I have my own time and family time. Edit, final touches, and I put it up. Needless to say, we all have found out that the Princess of Wales actually has been battling cancer. Of which, might I say right now, Kate, I am so very sorry to hear that you are also battling cancer along with your father-in-law as well as Fergie. I am so very sorry that your palace aides did not protect you. You should not have had to go through this. And like I have said many a time, Kate's medical affairs was not our business. I said it repeatedly. She is a public figure, But that is her business. She does not owe us an explanation. In fact, in the last episode, I said take the year off. And I'm going to put all of the episodes here. For those of you that do not know me or my channel or what I stand for, I am doubling down on every single thing that I have said, including me saying that I was going out to look for Kate. I read your comments. I read it from my beautiful FUMINATION that want to protect me, that love me, that come here for a safe space, that come here and are not used to negative comments. I also want to say to my haters, I love you equally, darling, because you will spread my name far and wide. I am built for this, and my skin is thicker than that of an alligator's. I want this to be a lesson for FUMINATION because you're my babies. You see, this life, it's never the easy times, it's the difficult times that will test you, because that's where your testimony will come from. That is where your character will be built. This is my job, and I love it. And as you guys know, I do everything from fitness to salads to skincare to makeup to hair to sister to motivation to vlogs. I do everything. And you guys come to me, over 750 of you, for everything and anything of which I try to comply. There are times when you and I will not agree. There are times when you will not like me. The thing is, I have taken the package deal. I have taken what? I've taken the package deal. I understand what this is. You forget I'm 54. I was here before the digital age. I'm built for this. I have the stamina and I can out-stamina you. Doesn't bother me at all, because I really go by integrity and I go by truth and I go by honesty. And so if I say something, I stand by it. And throughout this time, I have never said anything bad about Kate. Let's start from the beginning. I love Kate. I love the Princess of Wales. I love her. I will never forget how beautiful she looked on her wedding day. And I am very sorry that all of this is going on right now. It has to be intense being a member of the royal family. Without a doubt, sure, as I'm sitting here, to be a member of the royal family, it's not something one should wish for, because it's terribly intense. And no amount of money, jewels, clothes, travel will ever sway my mind to think that being a princess or marrying into the royal family is something that one should do. It's a lot. It's so much. It is really, really so much. And so, Kate, I am really sorry that you're going through this. I am also made very aware now that our late queen held that family down and all of its secrets and all of the madness. Now I'm understanding that the palace has orchestrated so many detours and cover-ups. CNN said, we're going to go back to the archives, because here and now, this Mother's Day picture has given us a red flag to go back and look at what we missed, because this is not the first time. You know, it's like a thief. It's not the first time he's stealing. It might be the first time he got caught, but this is not his first time. That's all I have to say, my darlings. I will come up here periodically. I can't do this every day. I can't. That's not what I'm about. And I genuinely feel really bad for the entire situation. I don't think it's karma. I don't believe in that, no. But my God, to step into Meghan's shoes for a month, step into her shoes, I don't think there's anybody in that royal family that could have done it like Meghan and survived. And she suffered and she miscarried. But she's a fighter. And I want Kate to have that fighting spirit. Don't let them break you. Don't let them see you sweat. Whatever it is, you keep going. You look into your 3 children and you keep going. And you remember your mother-in-law. Forget whether you're Team Meghan, Team Kate. Forget about that. Let's be Team Women. And I'm for women. Kate, fight. Fight and push for whatever you believe is right. If it's right, it's right. And you fight for it. Don't forget to like, to subscribe, hit the notification button, my darlings. And I just think that there is panic at the palace and she is being ill-managed and ill-taken care of. Fire them. Call me in for crisis management. We will wrap this up in a jiffy. It's a mess. Revamp it. Revamp it. Stop, stop, stop. At the palace, her aides, just stop. Just stop. Just stop. We had talked about the wonderful Kate, and I was talking about how Kate, you know what, fight the good fight for your marriage, for your children, for your position. Come out and just let us know that you're okay, to quelch all of these rumors and all of these internet stories and all of these, you know, innuendos. The beautiful Princess of Wales announced that she was going to be away because she was going to have a medical procedure and would not come back until the 17th of April. Fine. I personally do not need to know whatever details. I didn't even need to know that she was having an operation. I don't need to know that. That's your time. Buckingham Palace, the royal aides, for whatever reason, I do not know why, they started churning out pictures trying to derail something of which I did not pay attention to initially. I just thought, oh please, it's all fodder. They're trying to, you know, make something out of a molehill. Who cares? And I addressed other things. I just couldn't be bothered. And I think of a lot of people, don't care about what the health issue is. Don't explain, don't complain. They should have left it at that and not brought out any pictures or videos. Then I would have believed. But with all of this, Cloak and Daggers, what are you hiding? And then it occurred to me, on Gossip Girl, darling, you know what, when you come back on the show, do an episode, said, where is Kate? It made a mockery of the entire monarchy. I understand why the Queen said she will not renege, she will not hand over the throne, because they are not capable, because they don't listen, because they do not know the real world. Neither do I, but them more so. And that is what is happening, and that is what is becoming apparent. As a matter of fact, it was never about Kate, even though it started with Kate. It was about the Palisades. It was about the Cloak and Daggers, the Colombo hide and seek and the lies. That was where this came from. And it began to magnify another underlying issue. For me, could Harry and Meghan be telling the truth? Because Harry had said that they were prepared to lie for Kate and William, but they were not prepared to tell the truth for himself, Harry, and his wife, Meghan. And so I was beginning to see that there were lies being told here. Let us start from the beginning. I think that way everybody will have clarification. I don't talk about the royal family. For those of you that have been here for 10 years and some, I don't talk about them because I think that they get so much scrutiny, and they are just always, they're in this fishbowl, and I don't think it's fair. So I don't talk about them much. Like I said, I didn't even cover Meghan's wedding, of which I am going to now. About a month or two ago, it was announced that Prince Charles had prostate cancer. And I covered that story. It was very, very passionate. Again, very divided. Because I said that perhaps we should look upon Prince Charles as a young boy who really loved Camilla. And he didn't have the choice, or the choices he has now. That we should have empathy for him and compassion. The video will be here, link it below so that you can watch. I will put clips in here. And that was that. In the video, I mentioned Kate. And I said Kate also had a procedure or what have you, and that she was at home with her loved ones. And I dismissed it. That's not to say I didn't hear out in these London Regent streets that something was awry. I just dismissed it because I felt that Kate has a right to her privacy, and whatever it is, it's her affair. So I didn't touch it. And that was how it went on until sometime last week, when there was a picture that was released for Mother's Day. I told you about it. And I thought to myself, oh, look, all the children are smiling. As a mother of a toddler, we know how difficult that is. I wished her well and I went about my own business. It was AP, API, and Getty Images, who now announced the following day or day after that they had killed that picture because it had been compromised, that it had been digitally enhanced. And that was what drew my attention. For those of you that think that I have only just gotten these followers or platform now, then you do not know about my bra hacks. Then you do not know. I had to laugh at that one. Then you don't know my bra hacks. Then you don't know about all the other episodes that I have done on this channel. You have to have some common sense. I know it's not common, but have some common sense when you talk, and make sure as you accuse me to do my research that you in turn do yours. And so it piqued my interest. And I said that I did not even think it was such a bad thing that they altered the images. And I felt that it was a man that did it because we as women, we are completely different. We would have noticed the ring missing before we notice a child missing. And I said, Kate, fight. Fight for your life, fight for your marriage. And I said it on here, maybe she just did not want the marriage anymore. Maybe she didn't want to be married. She's trying to negotiate something or the other. But Kate is very much alive. I believe that. And I come with receipts. In this digital age, you gotta come with receipts, because that's what will save you, unless we're gonna do this back and forth. And mama has a life. Like I told you, I'm eating my salads, of which you should, and I am exercising and doing my thing. Before we turned around the corner, somewhere around, the Palace 8 had adopted Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, as far as I'm concerned, and come out with a fake Kate and a fake William, running athletic style with roller skates at the farm shop. The Kate that we saw yesterday, fragile, can we just agree, is not the Kate that was running at the farm shop. Now, you will say she wanted peace and privacy. She had it. All the Palace 8 had to do was not say anything. They did not have to come out with a Mother's Day picture. They did not have to come out with a picture with her mother where she looked 30 pounds heavier. She didn't have to come out with her mother. And absolutely, they did not have to have a full scene at the farm shop. Look at Kate and look at the fake Kate. And I said it's a fake William because the real William would not be running around with a fake Kate. It was a rent-a-Kate. They made this the joke. They are the ones that streamed up the fire. And everybody looked back and said, what is this? Right here in England, Express, yep. Sun, yep. Your Daily Mail, they carried the stories. They carried the stories. Where did it come from? Who paid 200,000 for what photographer? Why is it that it was the only sole operator that was able to take pictures and video of this couple? They did not protect Kate. My gate man in Lagos, Nigeria, Africa will do a better job at protecting me than the royal aides did for Kate. Like I said, I was editing yesterday because her medical records were compromised, of which we know of last week. You see, I take my time. Guess what, my darlings? Comes to find out, there were 3 nurses that compromised her records. And the records were compromised in December. Not now March, but in December. Of which Kate knew. Of which the royal family knew. Wait for the punchline. Of which the Spanish press knew. Kate's children go to a private school. Last day was the last day before they break up for their Easter. And so the children have to be home before she makes this public announcement. Nobody was pressured to do anything. If she had been protected, she could stay till the end of the year. This came from her camp. And what happened was, they're not professionals. They're not even seasoned at their jobs. And they were trying to pull the wool over our eyes and also insult our intelligence. Like I said, I'm very careful with what I say, with what I do. And I make sure I have all of my receipts. And I'm also a mother. And I've also experienced cancer loss in my family. It is not for the meek, it's not for the light. When it was announced, I felt terribly sad for the 3 children, and I wish her well. And in no time at all, Harry and Meghan released a statement praying for her and for her well-being. It's ironic that this Meghan was here for 5 years, and the outpouring of love for Kate was not extended to Meghan. I was here. Meghan was suicidal, nobody cared. Meghan miscarried and nobody cared. She was dragged by Jeremy Clarkson, who said all kinds of things, and the response was, oh, that is from Game of Thrones. What an insult. What an insult, and how biased. I am not on any team. I am Team Women, and I am Team Humanity, and I fight for all. But I double down when I know the truth, and I stand for what I see. And I stand for what is. You cannot do for one and not do for the other. It is terribly unfair. And in the last episode, I talked about it. And in the comment section, as you will see, I really focused on Piers Morgan. Because Piers Morgan, as far as I'm concerned, is the greatest PR that Meghan will ever have. Because he's working for her without getting paid. On his channel right here on YouTube, he talked about how she was having this new business of which she announced on Instagram. And he announced everything, all of the butters that she's going to produce, all of this, that. And I think Meghan's numbers was like 420,000 or something. After Piers Morgan's was over 500,000.
And through a series of unforced errors, the royals have completely lost control of a narrative they would dearly like to control. The front page of today's Sun newspaper reports that the Princess of Wales looked happy, relaxed and healthy on her first public outing since abdominal surgery, although that is not a picture, as they make clear, of her. It's an old one. It's not taken on this visit to a farm. They say that she and William spent the morning watching her 3 children play sports, and then they went to her favourite local farm shop in Windsor. And that's obviously good news. It means Kate is clearly on the mend. But there are no photographs with that story, for whatever reason, nor any named witnesses to the walkabout. There are many unanswered questions about the Princess of Wales and the calamitous edited photographs she released last week. We've documented them in detail on the show. At a time of indisputable crisis, feels a bit like a bit of explaining and if necessary, complaining, may be exactly what the Prince and Princess of Wales need to do. The public's reverence for the royals depends on integrity and on trust, and both of those things have taken a battering. Only William and Kate can really put this right. And amid the digital maelstrom that's rocked the royals' global reputation, of course, Meghan Markle has entered the conversation. On the same day that Princess Diana's memory was being honoured, she launched a new luxury lifestyle brand called American Riviera Orchard, whatever that means. It will apparently sell nut butters, garlic spreads and edible oils and fats to the rapidly diminishing number of people who may still see her as an inspirational, aspirational figure. But the timing well, pretty cynical, wasn't it? The continued exploitation of fading royal status by these two in Montecito is increasingly trashy. Why would you announce this on the very day that Prince William is standing up in London to pay tribute to his late mother? And the products, let's be honest, they sound wretched, don't they? We're entering the D list of the Sussex circus, which contrasts with the dignity of William and Kate, and is of course precisely why Harry and Meghan lost the hearts and minds of royal fans everywhere in the first place. It's also why it's so important that William and Kate now win back the public's trust.
Always finds a way to talk about her. And I addressed it. I absolutely addressed it. This is the way of the world. They are the royal family. And the taxpayers pay for their livelihood. I'm a staunch supporter of the royal family and all. But again, I'm older than a lot of you. And I was here when Diana was here. You see this Father up above. If there's anything I can teach you today, I want you to be God-fearing. I want you to know that we don't get away from anything, that we don't get away with anything, and that it's always scary to tell the truth, and it's very scary to be brave. Not many of us are brave. Not many of us can stand up and call it for what it is and double down on it. I've been through things, darlings, that I don't even wish for you. You don't know who I am. You just see me here smiling, laughing, because I always bring positivity. Today is a sad day. It's a sad time because I thought of those 3 children. I thought of George. I thought of Charlotte. I thought of Louis. Those are the ones I thought of, and I thought of Kate, and I thought of William. But it came from their camp. And they tried to pull the wool over the eyes of experts that have been out here doing it day in, day out. That was what brought all of this. Because there is a cause and there's effect. Because there's an action and there's a reaction. And if there's nothing that we do not agree on, we can agree that this was a fake Kate running around in the farm shop, as opposed to Kate that was so delicate on the bench. This, our Princess of Wales, does that look like somebody who would have taken time out to start enhancing a picture? This woman has cancer. This woman has 3 children that she has to think about, and she's praying to God Almighty to take to the finish line. But you see, cancer does not choose who is to have cancer. And she's young. But if you go to the ward, of which I do, you will see children with cancer. You will see babies with cancer. Because quiet as it's kept, I have my own charities. Because my auntie passed away from cancer. And she was beautiful. She was tall like me. I saw her go blind. And Fergie also, I think she had something going through with cancer as well. And of course, Charles. But how Charles took care of this. And I know that Kate has young children. The AIDS did not protect her. No complain, no explain. And that is why our former late sovereign, the late queen, did what she did and carried the crown with her till her dying breath, because she knew that the family was incapable of handling this. It's amazing how there are mothers, certain mothers, that are the glue to the family, and she evidently was one of them. This was a hot mess. It was a hot mess. And that was why this thing got out of control. They literally fed it to the droves. And unfortunately, you cannot deceive people because they see it for what it is. You cannot tell me, oh, you know what, this is a real kit and I believe it, when I know that it's not. It's my job. And sometimes the job can be difficult. And this is difficult, but I will do it. I know what I said, and everything that I said was to the book. It had nothing Nothing at all in bearing, in mocking or making fun of Kate. Yes, I made the joke and said we're going to look for Kate because it became so ridiculous that the royal family brought out a fake Kate and William. Because if they didn't, okay, all right, then who did? Who gave them access? Who is this photographer? Where was the 200,000 exchange from? TMZ has reneged and pulled back and said no. Because it was hocus pocus that backfired. And while I'm on this, I will continue to cover all stories. It does not stop. As a matter of fact, now it has reinforced that Fumi, you step up your game and you don't avoid, because that's what I was doing before. Don't avoid. You tell all stories, but you tell it with dignity and you tell it with integrity. I was busy yesterday because we have finally got things rolling and we have a meet and greet, yes my darling, on the 21st of April. I will see you, my darlings. You're going to live and love. For those of you that are asking me about hotels and you're coming from other countries, I will have the details for you. Like I said, Mama was busy. I have a life, so it wasn't as if I was avoiding anything. I have a life. I'm busy. I've got other things. So when it was announced last night, I can't come out here with makeup and hair and whatever. I can't. I'm doing other things. But trust and believe, just for the record, I never backtrack on anything and I never walk or run away from anything. I will always respond. You just have to give me time, like you have extended to our wonderful Princess of Wales, of which she deserved, but of which you did not give Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. You did not. She was here, and that is what is glaringly obvious, the bias. And you turn around and you want to blame, oh, you did this, that. Where was the source? But you don't want to take accountability for what happened behind the palace walls. Might I even add, my dear friend Piers even said that they're doing a shoddy job. Our father upstairs is our architect, engineer and designer. I strongly advise you guys, sit back, get a notebook and take notes. Do not forget to like, to subscribe, and I will see you guys sooner than later.